I'm finally going to do an update about my electrolysis results for the chin and neck area. Just a quick summary. I started my full electrolysis journey in 2017. In 2020, that's when I got the bulk of hair removed. So it took 3 years, and approximately in those 3 years, I had around 27 sessions to get my result, to get like the bulk of hair removed. This is just my experience and my body. Everyone's body and situation is so different. It might take 1 year for some people, 2 years for some people, and then obviously in my case it took a little bit longer. This hair, I did stimulate it a lot before I started the journey, so I was waxing, I was tweezing, I tried laser, which didn't work for me, and there was just a lot of hair that was stimulated in the area. On top of that, I've got a hormone imbalance, I've got polycystic ovary syndrome, and this part of the face is it's a very hormonal area anyway. So this all adds up to why it's taken so long for this area. I do have videos on my chest hair removal, and that was only 6 sessions, and that's because I'd never stimulated the hair in any way. I feel like that's definitely a big reason for why it only took 6 sessions. And I haven't needed any like top-up sessions since. So I do believe that if you've stimulated the hair beforehand, I feel like it does have an impact on, just an effect on how long it takes for you to get your results. So my last update video was April 2020, I believe. That was my second update. This is now my third. Since 2020, I've just needed to maintain my results by having top-up sessions whenever I need to. So my situation is still the same in terms of that. I just need top-up sessions, and they're shorter sessions. So at the start of my journey, I needed half-an-hour sessions, and I was having them every 2 weeks for a long time, for about a year, and then slowly it was every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, and so on, and it got less and less. And then I'm just looking at my notebook where I've got all of the dates. So my sessions dropped down from half an hour to 15 minutes, and then in 2020, I only needed 10-minute sessions. Obviously, this was during the pandemic as well, so I couldn't get sessions done as regularly anyway, but I was fine because I only needed touch-ups here and there. So my situation is still the same in terms of I just need top-up sessions, but a few things have changed. So one thing that I did, which I made a video about, in July, August last year, 2021, July, I got married. And I didn't make the time to get a top-up session, and I tweezed a few hairs. And then I went away in August for my honeymoon, and when you're in the sun, the hairs are a little bit more visible. So I tweezed a few more hairs. So I tweezed the hairs, I tweezed twice. Just by doing that twice, some hairs grew back thicker and darker. My body responds this way. Your body might not, but I still 100% recommend that you do a top-up session rather than tweezing and threading. So you're not supposed to remove the hair in any other way while you're getting your electrolysis done. Even though I've got my initial result and I'm just maintaining, it still had an effect on the hair. So the top picture is my initial result, so I was just maintaining that. But just by tweezing the hair twice, I'm going to show you a picture which is in the middle, the hairs grew back a lot thicker. And then at the bottom, I'm going to show you what my results are right now. So I had a few more sessions. I needed a few more top-up sessions just to kill off those hairs. And then these are my results now. Since I plucked the hair, I had around 3 more sessions just to get rid of, just to destroy those thicker ones again. So they're slowly gone now, and then I'm back to just maintaining my results. So I've learned from my mistake just to really make time for electrolysis, and if I can't, just trim the hairs. I normally do trim the hairs if I don't have time for it, but because I was getting married, I didn't want any sort of hair to show in the pictures, because sometimes when you cut it you can see like a little bit. I didn't want any of that, so that's why I went for tweezing, and I thought, oh, if I tweeze it once or twice it would be fine. So I've learnt my mistake, just trim the hair or make time for electrolysis. So another thing that has changed since my last update is I no longer work in that salon, and my colleague who was doing my treatments no longer works there either. She's not a beauty therapist anymore. She's taken a different route. So since my last update, I have been getting my electrolysis done in different salons. I've been trying out different places. Once I find places that I am comfortable recommending, and obviously if I have their permission as well. If I'm really happy with a salon, I will make a video of salons that I recommend. They will most likely be just in East London or North London. I don't really travel anywhere else outside of that. As soon as I can find a good amount of salons that I can recommend, I'll be making that video in the future. I've moved over to the side just to show you a few more pictures. So I'm still so happy with Electrolysis. Here is a picture of like before, where I had a lot of hair on my neck. This was in 2017. The after is what my results are looking like right now. And this is after my mistake where I did tweeze the hairs. So I had a few more top-up sessions, and then this is what the hair is looking like right now. Since my last update, which was April 2020, we are now coming up to April 2022. Within 2 years, I've had I've had 4 top-up sessions, which is really good. I haven't had to worry about this area a lot within the past, since my last update. Just to remind you, yes, electrolysis is permanent, but it's not a permanent result forever for someone who has a hormone imbalance like me. So because I've got polycystic ovary syndrome and my testosterone level is high, I have new hairs that grow through. So I just need top-up sessions every now and again whenever my body acts up and my hormones act up, or if I make a stupid mistake where I tweeze the hair and my body responds, because that's just how my body works. I just need top-up sessions just to maintain it as a result. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the risk of scarring and pigmentation. So note that aside before you start your journey, there is a risk of scarring and pigmentation. In my last update, I did say that I could see a little bit of pigmentation where I've got like white dots. I said it wasn't very noticeable, and then I made another video where I said when I went away on holiday and I got a tan, they did become a little bit more noticeable because I've got a tan, and you can see that contrast. So just to update you on that, I do have white dots of pigmentation in the area. At the start of my journey, there was a lot of hair that needed to be removed, and I was going to someone else that was using a slightly different technique where I was left with quite a lot of scabbing, and it was quite severe scabbing. My skin felt really itchy because of it, which is normal. Histamine goes to the skin to heal it, and that's why it's feeling itchy. And I was scratching the area, and by accident I would pick these scabs off. Doing that for a certain period of time has clearly caused damage to my skin, where that area of my skin is not producing melanin, and that's why it's gone white. A follower, subscriber of mine gave a really good tip, so thank you for that. He said when you have scabbing and your skin feels itchy, just put on the aftercare product, which is, he put on aloe vera, and it really helps soothe the skin and help with the itching. So that is such a good tip, thank you for that. So if you do get quite severe scabbing, let's just say it's the start of your journey, you've got a lot of hair to remove and you get scabbing, do use that tip for itching, because if you do scratch those scabs off, you are going to cause damage to your skin. Apart from that, I don't have any scarring, I don't have pitting, I don't have any raised scarring, I don't have any dark spots of pigmentation caused by electrolysis. I only have those white dots of pigmentation, and that was just my fault where I've scratched the scabs off. I did talk about in another video where I'll try different creams to help with that pigmentation. Honestly, when I look in the mirror, it doesn't bother me. It's not something that I really notice, so I kind of forgot about it. So sorry if you was waiting for an update on that. I haven't done anything or used anything. I was just editing the video, it's now the next day, but I wanted to expand on the scabbing topic. So in my last update, I spoke about how where I was going to before, she was using a certain technique that caused my skin to react quite a lot, where I was getting severe scabbing. And then in 2019, I started working in a different salon, and my colleague was doing my treatment. She was using a slightly different technique where my skin didn't react that much. So I was getting mild scabbing or sometimes no scabbing. The redness was a lot less and the swelling was a lot less as well. This is something that I did prefer. I do like it when my skin doesn't react that much because it heals a lot quicker. Now that my colleague isn't a beauty therapist anymore and I've been trying out different salons, what I found is the majority, not all of them, but the majority of places that I've tried so far do use that technique where the setting is a little bit higher and my skin does respond a little bit more. I do get more redness, I do get severe scabbing and more swelling as well. Obviously, we are trying to remove something from the body that is being produced naturally, so my skin is going to react. I do completely understand that, but when it comes to my training, it is quite torn, it's quite split. Some people say scabbing isn't normal, some people say it is normal. I just feel like it's something that is common. Now that I've tried so many different places, I do see that it is something that's common. But I am looking for someone who does use a slightly lower setting. There was one person that I found that uses a lower setting, but I was feeling the hair pluck. Plucking is not okay with me at all. If you can feel the hair pluck, it means the hair wasn't treated properly. And I've already explained what tweezing the hair, like how my body responds to tweezing, so it's a big no from me. That could possibly be why other people are using a higher setting, because the lower setting isn't strong enough to destroy the hair. But if you hold the current down for a little bit longer, it will get destroyed with that lower setting. But yeah, I couldn't really tell her how to do her job. I just sort of experienced that and then I just don't go back. I do pay attention to if it's tugging or plucking though. Tugging is fine. We just tug on the hair just to see if it was treated. If it wasn't, we go back in. But plucking is just, no, I won't go back. So I just wanted to mention that. I'll let you get back to the video. Another thing that I can update you on is what's going on internally. So I still don't take any medication. Initially in 2014, when I was first diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome, I wasn't really recommended any medication to help with it. The only thing that the doctor recommended was to take the pill to regulate my periods, which I did do back then for about a year, and then I stopped. It was just a personal choice. I didn't want to take it anymore. But yeah, update on that. I still don't take any medication. I don't take anything. I still haven't started my journey in terms of like eating a certain way and having a certain lifestyle to help with my hormones. I was doing well at some point, but I do it for like a couple weeks and then I slowly go back to my bad habits. I really struggle to follow a certain diet, a certain way of eating, like changing my lifestyle habits. Really struggle with it. If I do decide to start again, I will document it because I feel like it will be helpful to a lot of people, because when I was doing it, honestly, it was helping. I just need to have more self-control and discipline when it comes to that. So nothing has changed there, but if it does, I'll let you know. I still 100% recommend electrolysis when it's being done correctly, which it should be because these people are all trained. It has been life-changing for me. I went from needing to remove their hair weekly to now only needing 4 sessions within the space of 2 years. I haven't needed to worry about this hair. I no longer have to carry eyebrow scissors in my bag to trim hairs that bother me. Before electrolysis, I was carrying tweezers in my bag and I needed to tweeze regularly. I no longer have to do any of that. I'm still really happy with my results, and I'm happy doing top-up sessions whenever my body needs it. There is something else that has changed since my last update, which you might be interested in. I've now started my own business. It's called Harmless Beauty. I rent a room within a hair salon. I do a variety of beauty treatments, but one of them is electrolysis. So if you do want to get electrolysis done by me, you can book a consultation with me. A consultation is essential. So we do a consultation, I do a small patch. I only do it on the face, by the way. I don't do body hair personally. I do a patch test. You go away, you see how your skin reacts, and then we book in your first session. You can find me on Google, just type in Harmless Beauty, or you can book an appointment through Instagram, just search for harmless.beauty and then you can DM me. I've got my price list in the highlights. I also have a highlights called Electrolysis, and I've got some of my customers like before and after. I trained in electrolysis years ago. It was included in my level 3 beauty therapy course. But since the laser came out, electrolysis isn't that popular anymore. So I didn't work in a salon that had electrolysis as a treatment. until later on in my career. The past 3 years I've been doing customers regularly. So that's another update that I wanted to include in this, and that's about it. Thank you for watching this video, supporting my channel, and I hope to see you again soon.